in hunting strategies, particularly regarding the types of prey hunted. Larger animals, such as gazelles and impalas, might be more easily located and captured with the help of dogs, but smaller animals that require silent approaches could be neglected. Hadzabe bush tribe starting the day with a hunt for honey and water. In the heart of Tanzania, where the wilderness remains untouched by time, the Hadzabe bush tribe begins their day in harmony with nature. As the first light of dawn breaks through the trees, the tribe awakens, not to the sound of alarms or bustling cities, but to the calls of birds and the whispers of the wind moving through the savannah. For the Hadzabe, each day is a new opportunity to connect with the land, hunt, gather, and survive as their ancestors have done for thousands of years. With no permanent homes, no agriculture, and no livestock, their way of life is one of complete reliance on the natural world. From the moment they wake up, the search for food and water begins, a daily ritual that is as much about survival as it is about maintaining their deep relationship with the land. The hunt for honey, a sweet and dangerous quest. One of the Hadzabe's most prized foods is honey, a natural source of energy and nutrition. Unlike many other foods, honey is a rare and difficult treasure to find, hidden high up in the trees and fiercely guarded by wild bees. Despite the risks, the Hadzabe are expert honey hunters, using ancient techniques to locate and extract the golden nectar. Tracking the honey guide bird. The honey hunting process begins with a remarkable partnership between the Hadzabe and a small bird known as the greater honey guide. This bird has a unique relationship with the Hadzabe, leading them directly to hidden beehives deep in the forest. The process is simple yet fascinating. Listening for the bird's call, the Hadzabe hunters move through the bush, mimicking the sound of the honey guide bird's call. If the bird is nearby, it responds with a distinctive chattering sound. Following the bird, once the bird has responded, the hunters follow it as it flits from tree to tree, leading them to a hidden beehive. Harvesting the honey. When the hive is located, the real challenge begins. Using fire, smoke, and bare hands, the Hadzabe men carefully extract the honey while trying to avoid painful bee stings. Smoke is essential. It helps calm the bees and makes it easier to collect the honeycomb. Sharing the sweet reward. Once the honey is gathered, it is brought back to the community, where it is shared among families, providing much-needed energy and nutrients. This symbiotic relationship between the Hadzabe and the honey guide bird is one of nature's most fascinating examples of cooperation between humans and wildlife. Finding water, a challenge in the African wilderness. While honey provides energy and sustenance, water is the lifeblood of survival. Unlike modern societies with access to taps and wells, the Hadzabe must search daily for natural water sources, which can be scarce, especially during the dry season. Methods of finding water. Tracking animal paths. The Hadzabe are skilled at reading the landscape, often following animal trails that lead to hidden water holes. Digging for water. In some cases, water is found underground. Using simple wooden digging tools, they dig into the dry riverbeds until they reach moisture, scooping out enough water to drink. Collecting water from plants. Some tree species and vines store water within their trunks. By cutting into these trees, the Hadzabe can extract small amounts of drinkable water. Rainwater collection. During the rainy season, they use natural rock formations and leaves to trap and store rainwater for later use. The search for water is often a communal effort, with both men and women participating. While the men may be out hunting, women and children walk long distances, carrying traditional calabashes, gourds, and wooden bowls to collect water and bring it back to camp. A morning rooted in tradition. After a successful morning of gathering honey, finding water, and hunting small animals, the Hadzabe return to their temporary shelters, simple grass huts or shaded areas beneath trees. Here, families gather to share their findings, prepare food, and rest before the afternoon's hunting and foraging activities. For the Hadzabe, life is about more than just survival. Their mornings are filled with laughter, cooperation, and storytelling, reinforcing the deep bonds of their community. The simplicity of their lifestyle is a testament to human resilience and the beauty of living in harmony with nature. Experience the Hadzabe way of life. The Hadzabe bush tribe is one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer communities in the world, preserving traditions that date back thousands of years. Their way of life offers a unique glimpse into how early humans lived, before the rise of agriculture and modern civilization. By observing their daily routines, hunting, foraging, cooking, and storytelling, we gain a deeper appreciation for the wisdom, resilience, and ingenuity that have allowed them to survive in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. If you're fascinated by indigenous cultures, survival skills, and the raw beauty of the African wilderness, be sure to follow along and discover more about the Hadzabe bush tribe's incredible way of life. Hadzabe bush tribe tries soft drink, Sprite, for the first time, a unique cultural experience. Deep in the heart of Tanzania, where the Hadzabe bush tribe continues to live as hunter-gatherers, life remains largely untouched by modern civilization. For thousands of years, their diet has consisted of wild fruits, roots, honey, and fresh meat, all sourced directly from nature. They drink pure water from natural springs, and have never been exposed to processed foods or artificial beverages, until now. In a fascinating and unexpected moment, members of the Hadzabe tribe experience something entirely foreign to their traditional lifestyle, tasting a soft drink, Sprite, for the first time. The event becomes not just a light-hearted moment of fun, but also a powerful contrast between the natural, ancestral way of life and the modern world of artificial flavors and processed sugar. First sips, a mixture of reactions. As the bottle of Sprite is opened, the Hadzabe gather around, curious, but cautious. The fizzing and bubbling of the drink immediately grabs their attention, as they have never seen anything like it before. Some look at it with fascination, while others laugh nervously, unsure of what to expect. One by one, they take small sips, carefully tasting the unfamiliar drink. Their expressions range from delight to shock, with some enjoying the refreshing coolness, while others squint, cough, or shake their heads at the unexpected sweetness and carbonation. Accustomed to the mild, natural sweetness of wild honey and fruit, the intense sugar and bubbles are an entirely new sensation for them. Some of their reactions include curiosity, examining the bottle, sniffing the drink before tasting. Surprise, widened eyes and laughter at the unexpected fizz. Discomfort, some grimace at the intense sweetness and gas. Excitement, others eagerly take another sip, finding the coolness refreshing in the hot African sun. For them, drinking Sprite is not just about tasting a new beverage, it's an entirely new sensory experience, one that highlights the sharp contrast between their ancestral diet and modern processed foods.
Chagua ititatu wepa koma na tama I achende makaka zako kwa mimi mshikaki vitsi mali ko kuti seme ko ila alufu mai ko kuti achende ikai tena ko tai amikite obe neta ujame ko jame achasa uchame ko kiti tenga iyoba abesa seme ko besa ujame ko keni bieta kuyeta te samakabi abe akwe miana noko keni bieta samakabi hasa obe ujamete beka angai kiki ope akini angai ope ika emeda akwe seke me ujame ko sasa fulu na ichemeda ko so khe ukwa abe ka ikachomba watashi ta kala watashati waza echana tu watashi he ngana ili bami aso tai seme yakobo kwa eti kwa tuya ome akamuchita chana dadiko kijijini ko tiseme seme ko uko biko chita ujame ko nako ujame sia muso iname boko khipu ko ti atawani ka ko chete tsabe ko wata ko ngatsaya ko fafa beka ima ko khanai kama na boko kote yako kama chunguza ima itaunu awani kako tatashi nangu mimi kwa awani kako atoni
Kwa uzame ngoe.
Kote kuya uzame bami ngoe bami asama e. Asti asha ashobe. Ama kwa bami uchikine sa etsako. Bami ngoe.
Obe tahino kwa eta boko.
Sasa yeka.
Basi kama kusanja kwa ame yani bami uzame ndo kwa moseme chana kuwe yako kwa ame same basi wako
kusami hapo
nini tu abi mami chama kwa ame nafunga kwa mama na kama kitu na haka ikaba miche kwa ame atone kusanja ko ndio boko kwa miche Mwi kosa amana kwa uzame ngote mana kaba mi uzame aho
abijama tibitafyo maishoko
paka hapana kukapula kwa nokoa kula na kwa sa uzame
kama hii paka pa ako iete ta
wacha china kwa kusanja asu
Kuwe yako.
kuwe yako kwa nchi
afu ni nani
Oyame. Ja. Bahia como britânia. Cágua também. Gutulamo ame shaitaya gut isita godet ogodo ayamet egami shana mat ogodo ayo dago kwete kachasta maya aya ese nabita alu ama naketa
Loka.
Doa bitaya mana kita oh kuah setelah tahu mana kita pakah bitaya mana kita
Toka kaya.
Ako na bena ako pa anak ko amat eka. Pagkakao tayo mana kita isinaw. Pagkakaya. Tofu tayo isinaw ka so. Tofu ay iliso o kami. Kwani teko sini.
Nako na tuvu ikasema
Oh, kuwa sana chama ni.
na mimata makani kwa tebe. Nikabai mana kata ake. Hapo kwa kudu wapate kwa ai sai. Hapa siye kwa na. Bwana kama
Tuwe aya mana kita. Wala chaya mboga be. Aya. Wala chaya mboga be.
lugu kapeta ka.
Teko lami-laminan.
Aya isinota aka mana kita obe Hadzabe. Fu. Lata. Aga kepa ota. Aya.
However, the Hadzabe seasonal hunting patterns, where they target different animals based on rainfall and availability, may also be disrupted as dogs may not follow the same seasonal rhythms or adaptations as the hunters. 2. Impact on language. The Hadzabe language, with its unique clicks and its role in the community's hunting practices, has always been a central part of the tribe's identity. However, the introduction of domestic dogs into hunting practices presents a new challenge to the linguistic traditions of the Hadzabe people. 2.1 Disruption of silent communication. A key component of Hadzabe hunting success is their ability to communicate silently. The clicks, hand signals, and whispers allow hunters to coordinate without alarming their prey. The introduction of dogs, which can inadvertently alert animals with barking, challenges this delicate balance. The use of verbal commands or even barking in the presence of dogs can disrupt the traditional methods of communication, forcing hunters to adapt their language for a new kind of interaction that might not fit their cultural norms. As hunting becomes less reliant on silent communication, the next next generation of Hadzabe children may grow up less accustomed to using the intricate click system, as the need for silence during hunts decreases. Over time, this could lead to a simplification of the language, possibly reducing the number of clicks used in daily conversations and thereby weakening the linguistic richness that defines Hadzabe communication. 2.2 Changing interactions with nature and the environment. The Hadzabe language and culture are deeply connected to the natural world. Their language is infused with references to animals, plants, and the landscape they navigate daily. Hunting, for example, has always been a form of dialogue with the environment. The use of animal sounds and mimicry, and the detailed knowledge of animal tracks are critical parts of the language. With the There is also a risk of over-reliance on dogs for hunting. If future generations of Hadzabe hunters become dependent on dogs, they may lose their ability to track and hunt independently, thereby undermining the community's deep connection with their environment. 1.2 Shifting hunting strategies. The introduction of dogs may lead to a change in hunting strategies, particularly regarding the types of prey hunted. Larger animals, such as gazelles and impalas, might be more easily located and captured with the help of dogs, but smaller animals that require silent approaches could be neglected. Moreover, the Hadzabe seasonal hunting patterns, where they target different animals based on rainfall and availability, may also be disrupted as dogs may not follow the same seasonal rhythms or adaptations as the hunters. 2. Impact on language. The Hadzabe language, with its unique clicks and its role in the community's hunting practices, has always been a central part of the tribe's identity. However, the introduction of domestic dogs into hunting practices presents a new challenge to the linguistic traditions of the Hadzabe people. 2.1 Disruption of silent communication. A key component of Hadzabe hunting success is their ability to communicate silently. The clicks, hand signals, and whispers allow hunters to coordinate without alarming their prey. The introduction of dogs, which can inadvertently alert animals with barking, challenges this delicate balance. The use of verbal commands or even barking in the presence of dogs can disrupt the traditional methods of communication, forcing hunters to adapt their language for a new kind of interaction that might not fit their cultural norms. As hunting becomes less reliant on silent communication, the next generation of Hadzabe children may grow up less accustomed to using the intricate click system, as the need for silence during hunts decreases. Over time, this could lead to a simplification of the language, possibly reducing the number of clicks used in daily conversations and thereby weakening the linguistic richness that defines Hadzabe communication. 2.2 Changing interactions with nature and the environment. The Hadzabe language and culture are deeply connected to the natural world. Their language is infused with references to animals, plants, and the landscape they navigate daily. Hunting, for example, has always been a form of dialogue with the environment. The use of animal sounds and mimicry, and the detailed knowledge of animal tracks are critical parts of the language. With the increasing reliance on dogs, younger generations may focus less on observing and understanding the subtle signs left by animals, thus decreasing their direct interaction with the environment. As a result, language related to these practices may become obsolete or be altered in a way that loses the depth of meaning it once had. 2.3 Influence of Swahili and other languages. The Hadzabe's linguistic isolation and use of a click-based language set them apart from neighboring communities, but with the increasing integration of younger Hadzabe generations into Tanzanian society, the influence of Swahili is becoming more pronounced. As the Hadzabe begin to interact with more people who do not speak their language, the prevalence of Swahili in daily conversations increases, especially in urban areas or in contexts like trade, education, and health. The interaction with other languages, combined with the influence of modern technology and lifestyle changes, can further erode the use of the Hadzabe language in its traditional form. 3. Social and cultural shifts. Beyond hunting and language, the broader implications of adopting dogs and increasing contact with the outside world bring about more significant cultural shifts. With tourism, land development, and the influence of modernity encroaching upon the Hadzabe's traditional lifestyle, the role of dogs represents just one aspect of larger changes affecting their way of life. 3.1 Displacement and land loss. The expansion of agricultural activities and tourism has already resulted in significant land loss for the Hadzabe people. The introduction of domestic dogs into their communities, while a seemingly small change, can be a part of a broader trend toward altering the traditional lifestyles of indigenous groups. Increasing dependence on modern tools like dogs could encourage a shift toward more sedentary lifestyles, which runs counter to the Hadzabe's nomadic traditions. 3.2 Decreased self-sufficiency. As Hadzabe communities interact more with neighboring tribes and adopt some of their customs, including hunting with dogs, the emphasis on self-sufficiency and independence might diminish. This could lead to a weakening of their traditional knowledge systems, with a growing reliance on external factors, such as the availability of dogs or modern hunting tools, for survival. 4. The future of Hadzabe culture, balancing tradition and change. Despite the challenges posed by the introduction of dogs and external influences, the Hadzabe people have proven their resilience throughout history. Efforts to preserve their language, hunting techniques, and cultural practices are vital in the face of these changes. Organizations working with indigenous groups in Tanzania can play a role in documenting the Hadzabe language, supporting language revitalization programs, and ensuring that traditional knowledge is passed on to future generations. In the realm of hunting, while dogs may provide certain advantages, the Hadzabe can still maintain their traditional skills, learning to balance new tools with their ancient methods. Perhaps the best way forward lies in the integration of new practices without sacrificing the essence of what makes Hadzabe culture unique, their deep knowledge of the land, their silent communication. New challenges to Hadzabe hunting and language, the impact of domestic dogs. The Hadzabe people, traditionally known for their skillful hunting methods and unique click language, have long lived in harmony with their environment in the harsh landscapes of Tanzania's East African savanna. However, recent changes, particularly the introduction and increasing use of domestic dogs, have begun to present new challenges to their ancient way of life, both in terms of hunting practices and language preservation. As these challenges evolve, the Hadzabe face both cultural shifts and potential threats to their survival strategies. Below, we will explore the impact of these changes and how they affect the Hadzabe's hunting traditions, language, and overall way of life. 1. The role of dogs in traditional hunting. Historically, the Hadzabe have relied on their intimate knowledge of the land, their keen senses, and their unique communication methods, including silent clicks and hand signals, to hunt effectively. This hunting technique, honed over generations, has been adapted to the savanna environment, where stealth and precise coordination are essential. 1.1 The introduction of dogs to hunting practices. In recent years, however, there has been a gradual introduction of domestic dogs into Hadzabe hunting groups. While dogs have long been used by other African communities for tracking, herding, and protection, their presence within Hadzabe society presents both advantages and significant drawbacks. Advantages. Tracking efficiency. Dogs are incredibly skilled at tracking animal scent and can cover vast areas faster than humans can on foot. Their keen sense of smell allows them to find animals quickly, especially when game is scarce or hiding. Faster pursuit. Dogs can run down animals, particularly smaller prey such as birds, hares, and rodents, with greater speed. This can help hunters catch prey that might otherwise escape. Protection. Dogs can also serve as protectors, warning hunters of approaching threats, such as predators or rival groups. This can enhance the overall safety of hunting expeditions. Drawbacks. Noise and disturbance. The most significant drawback to introducing dogs is the potential for noise. Unlike the quiet, stealthy communication methods traditionally used by the Hadzabe, dogs can inadvertently disrupt the hunt by barking or causing animals to flee. This undermines the Hadzabe's ability to communicate silently through clicks, hand signals, and mimicry of animal calls. Change in hunting techniques, with dogs leading the way, the traditional method of close, personal tracking, and silent communication has shifted. The group now relies more heavily on the dogs for finding game rather than their time-tested methods of tracking footprints, droppings, and animal signs. This shift may lead to a gradual erosion of the intricate skills the Hadzabe have honed for centuries. Over-reliance on dogs. There is also a risk of over-reliance on dogs' FO.
Chuku abitawa waze misho ya sana indashawa hama zamona kwa munaeko anako akanasa yako ishota ay nek ahanu kushe ya inga hetiya ena dugu ogun ono osepa ay chene tiya ena ay indashawa amusho nama indashawa chu agwai kanene na agwai na mimi nakana kupa bwe sake na kupa kakone kupa bwe ko ekwe bike ihete ya sana ni na efe ayala mena inga tsi na indasha tateta otsi na leza akwa kwa zabedu Uma algo cococho look at I got under the cool. Yeah, but Yes, I have a photo of as I see it and I do and they go in the shower. Mama naketa nkologo. Oh, enough. I don't get the body. I don't get the body. You don't know which. I mean, the secret. I the chat. Quando eu não sei como é que eu vou acabei de chegar com uma pina já acho que dá para breako eu dá para breako eu dá para puxar ao breako é chua já sabe para comer
Hadzabe's bush tribe started the day with a hunt for honey and water. In the heart of Tanzania, where the wilderness remains untouched by time, the Hadzabe bush tribe begins their day in harmony with nature. As the first light of dawn breaks through the trees, the tribe awakens, not to the sound of alarms or bustling cities, but to the calls of birds and the whispers of the wind moving through the savannah. For the Hadzabe, each day is a new opportunity to connect with the land, hunt, gather, and survive as their ancestors have done for thousands of years. With no permanent homes, no agriculture, and no livestock, their way of life is one of complete